Boom! Greetings from YouTubeville. Once again, Danny Savage, Draft Guru. Listen, bro, I'm explaining to you real short and sweet and simple why I'm the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. How ironic. Last year, I'm watching Purdue take their weekly ass kicking. They went 1-11. So I dropped. Two kids kept on standing out to me though on Purdue. Their tight end, Max KLARE, and their defensive end, this giant tall kid with long hair, The Undertaker. So these two kids weren't even eligible for the draft yet. But I watched like 6 games, and I just watched both of these kids. Like, so long story short, last year I did a video. Ironically, their tight end, Max KLARE, 6'4", 240. I did a video on him and their one giant defensive end, The Undertaker. I'm like, yo, these two kids got talent. Boom, uncensored. Thank you for jumping the chat. And I'm like, yo, these kids are going to get a bag somewhere. So I'm looking over the transfer portal and everything. Who is starting at tight end after the spring game at Ohio State? Max KLARE, tight end, 6'4", 240. He had 51 receptions, like 580 yards and 4 touchdowns with Purdue last year. And it's ironic that all these websites have Max KLARE as the number 1 rated tight end prospect for the 2026 draft. I must either be really, really good or really, really lucky. Or as my father would say, the harder you work at something, the easier it gets. I think it's the third one. So, am I saying this kid's going to be the number 1 tight end in the 2026 draft? No. Way too early, man. Way too early. But I just find it ironic that I did a video on him last year. And you'll see guys next spring when all the draft people come out like mushrooms, they all rise up from the ground. You'll see guys talking about Max, Bobby's Big Board. Boom. If you guys are into fantasy football, check out his channel. Subscribe, bro. He knows his shit. So, like I said, man, I ain't saying this kid's going to be the number 1 ranked tight end in next year's draft, but he'll be top 5. I saw way too much football. I'm saying, yo, this kid's going to get a bag, man. But it's ironic. But you're going to hear people next draft cycle, you're going to hear people saying, I watched like a game or 2. I'm like, why are you only watching like 1 or 2 games on a person, bro? Yet, and they're gonna watch the Ohio State film too, where he's gonna look like a superstar. But like I said, man, I must have an eye for talent. But isn't it kind of like common sense though, too, bro? Like when you're watching a game, shouldn't talent stand out? Too easy. Too easy. I'm gonna drop some videos on him. It's gonna be Purdue tape, but this kid is Ohio State's starting tight end. And with Carnell Tate on one side and Steffens, or Smith. I got a million names in my head. I know Jeremiah Smith. He's not ready for the draft yet, even though the kid could play. He could have played in the NFL as a true freshman at wide receiver. With all their weapons, this kid's going to eat in the middle. So listen, man, this is just Prospect 25 to look out for. The videos are going to be in the comment section. But it's ironic. And, bro, just go to my page. You can see the video I dropped on him last year. Because we all know when you're rocking with the GWO for life, over and out.